with eyes closed. Taking a moment to just drop into your body. So we sink back behind your thoughts. We sink down into the heart space. Start to just connect with the physical body. Being aware of any niggles that might be feeling. Connecting to your energetic body. To the emotional body. Just being aware of any feelings that are floating around. As we hold emotions and things swirling around the emotional body, it transfers through to the energetic and the physical. Observing your natural breathing. And it's a good thing to get into the habit of observing the natural breath throughout the day. This is our main or easiest source of connection to this pranic flow, this life force energy. Sometimes we block this flow. By just bringing your awareness to the breath, you observe automatically, you start to lengthen and change the breathing. Continuing the breath in and out through the nose. You're starting to lengthen the exhalation. If you inhale for 4 counts, lengthening the exhale for 6 or 8 counts. As you exhale with each breath out, just releasing any tension, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, just allowing it to release with that exhalation. This is a simple tool that you can bring into your yoga practice. As we move through the physical practice, if you find that there's tension in a posture that just doesn't want to release, something you want to work deeper into, you can use the breath So you can take that breath, push the breath deep into that area of tension, and use the long exhalation to allow it to release. From here, keeping your eyes closed, if it feels okay, come forwards onto all fours. Start to move into your cat now. As we start to move, just exploring the physical body. We'll start to circle the hips. Changing the direction of the circles. Allowing that movement to ripple up the spine. And coming back to a neutral position, bringing the toes to touch, take the knees wide, stretch back so sitting over reach towards the heels and extend your arms forwards, coming up onto the tips of the fingers. So keeping this stretch active as you reach forwards through the fingertips and push the sitting bones back and down. Breathing into those spaces that feel a bit tight, breathing down the length of the spine. Taking a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, walk your hands over to the right side of the mat. Keeping the hands at shoulder distance. And breathing into the stretch down the left side. Inhale and come back to the centre. And on the exhale, walk the hands over to the left side. Use that long exhalation to release any stale air that you might be holding on to. And then coming back to the middle of the mat, come up onto all fours. Spreading your fingers nice and wide, root down through the L shape of the thumb and forefinger. Walk the hands forward at hands length, tuck the toes, and stretch back into a nice bent legged downward dog. So finding the length in the spine is so much more important than getting the heels down, getting the legs straight. So find that length. Push the mat away through that L shape of the thumb and forefinger. Really feel that extension of the spine. And then connect to your core. So using your bandhas as you lift through the bandha, the pelvic floor. Connecting to the core, Adhyana Bandha, pulling the tummy button back and up towards the rib cage. And holding that there, slowly start to straighten the legs, heading the feet if you want to. Just allowing the heels to release down towards the mat. Just feeling into what's probably your first downward dog of the day. Shake any tension out from the neck and release your jaw. And then rise up high onto your tiptoes. Tiptoe the feet towards the top of the mat. Stay as high as you can on the tiptoes, placing the weight into the hands. As you inhale, lifting the hips just a little bit higher. And exhaling, releasing the heels down to the mat. Inhaling, press into the feet, rise up to standing. Urdhva Hastasana, taking your gaze up to the hand. And exhaling, bring your hands in front of your heart center. Inhaling, floating your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forwards to Uttanasana. See if you can get the hands alongside the feet. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga, release chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, roll back to downward dog and hold it. Feeling the sensations in your body, feeling that flow of the breath. On your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhale, folding down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, bring the hands in front of the heart center to breath. Inhaling, floating your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forwards to Uttanasana. Inhaling, lifting your flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga, release chest and chin. Inhaling, lift to cobra or upward dog. Exhaling, push back to your downward dog and hold. On your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, bring the hands to the heart center. Inhale, floating your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forwards, Uttanasana, working the hands back alongside the feet. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back to chaturanga, release chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, roll back to your downward dog and hold it here. On your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhale, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, bring the hands to the heart center. Shift away from that. Tall people, this is not your friend. Inhaling, floating your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forwards to Uttanasana. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga, release chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling back to your downward dog. Shoulder blades together. And hold it here. Again, observe if there's any tension through the neck, just allow it to release. Inhaling, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva. Exhaling, bring the hands to Namaste. Inhale, floating your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward to Uttanasana. Work the hands back alongside the feet. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra, roll the shoulders back, away from the ears, and exhale, roll back to your downward dog and hold. And observing the flow of your breath. On your inhale, step forwards, coming into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva. Exhaling, bring the hands in front of the heart center. On your inhale, sit down low, sweep the hands to the floor, and then lift to Uttanasana. Have a look down and notice if you can see your toes. Put the weight back into the heels. Find that little lift again as we lift through Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. And then take the gaze up towards the fingertips. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, forward fold to Uttanasana. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, roll back to your downward dog. On your inhale, step your right foot forwards, bring the left heel to the mat, Virabhadrasana 1. So bring the palms together if it feels okay for your shoulders. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhale back to downward dog. Inhaling, step the left foot forwards, right heel comes to the mat, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga. Inhaling to upward dog. Exhaling back to downward dog and hold it. So all the while as we move through our flow, just feeling. The mind starts to wander. We start to engage with our thoughts. Come back to the breath and the feelings in the body. On your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhale, fold down to Uttanasana. Bend your knees on your inhale, sweep your arms up to Uttanasana. Exhaling, come to stand, hands in front of the heart center. Inhaling, sit back to Uttanasana, so a nice low seat. Exhale and forward fold. Inhaling, lift to your flat back, lengthen through the front body. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga, knees, chest and chin. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling the right foot forwards again, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling the left foot forwards, Virabhadrasana 1. So connecting to the midline here, exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, and hold. Again, finding that length through the spine, push the mat away through that L shape of the thumb and forefinger. I'm going to inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhale, folding down to Uttanasana. Bend your knees, inhale, sweep your arms up to Uttanasana. Exhaling, come to stand, bring the hands to Namaskar. And inhaling, sit back to Uttanasana. Exhaling, forward fold to Uttanasana. I'll go through it. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga. That's really valid. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra, run through it on the way out. Exhaling back to your downward dog. On your inhale, step the right foot forwards, coming into a high lunge this time. And on the exhale, turn to the left, Virabhadrasana 2. So lift the toes back on the feet and actively push down through the four corners of the feet. Push into the left foot as you soften into the right leg. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling back to downward dog. Inhale, step the left foot forwards, coming into your high lunge on this side. Exhaling, turn to the right, Virabhadrasana 2. So again, lift the toes back, spread them wide, get the feet active, and push down into the four corners of the feet. Really putting the weight into the right foot, then soften into this left leg. So we're not just dumping the weight into the left leg. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga on knees, chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhale back to your downward dog and hold it here. On your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Bend your knees, inhale, sweep your arms up to Uttanasana. And hold it here while we run through this. So, Uttanasana is one of those postures where you can lose the connection and we end up with the duck butt or with this tucked thing. You know, when I was there, it was always tuck it out there, and then you're like this, which is also not feeling right. What we're trying to do is find the correct stabilization for your pelvis. Simplest way to do it, banders. So notice, if you sit back and stick your bum out and go full duck butt, you probably feel it in the lower back. Yeah. Now lift through Mula Bandha. So just that little lift around the pelvic floor, and then again, Uddiyana Bandha, and all of a sudden you correct that alignment. It's one of those really simple things that we forget to do. But it does, it automatically corrects you, because the problem is, I can say, stick your bum out to one person and it's relevant, and tuck to another person and it's relevant. But for you to find your alignment, very simply, because here I've lost all of this. There's no core action. So the minute I switch on, I don't know if Andrew can see, she's still in chair pose like a trooper. So we're lifting, Andrew's another teacher, she's just sort of sitting there very kindly doing her thing. So we lift through Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, tummy button back and up, and hold it. Take a nice deep breath in. And then you sit back. It automatically, it automatically corrects it. But Pada Bandha as well here, it's great for the thighs, isn't it? As we sit down, it's a great posture, but it's a killer. Lift the toes back. You know, I'm a big fan of lifting the toes back through a practice. just to check in with the feet. Spread your toes wide. You will notice then that automatically Mula Bandha will kick in. The minute you start, it's fine, flies are burning, but automatically when we start to use the bandhas, if you collapse through the feet, feel it in yourself. You collapse through the feet and sit down, the weight drops, you drop forwards. So play around with it, just go down with everything collapsed for a moment. I hope your thighs are all right, Angie. And then lift the toes back and activate through Padabandha. Yeah, and it all of a sudden it has a knock-on effect. So whatever is touching the mat, whether it be the hands or the feet, we get that action. We want to use Hasta Bandha or Padabandha to draw the energy back up and reconnect to the core. Are you feeling it? Yes. And the thigh burn. Yeah. Awesome. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, swan dive forward. Uttanasana. We're over that now. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga. Our bandhas are used all the way throughout the class. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling back to your downward dog. Fine example here. On your right inhale, step the right foot forwards, come into your high lunge. Notice, bandhas, turn them all off. Yeah. Jog to that 6 inches. Turn them back on. Feet. Spread the toes. That action of trying to lift the toes away from the mat. And then you find that little lift through Mula Bandha, the activation of the Dhyana Bandha, suddenly you square the hips off naturally. You connect to the core and the spine lengthens. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, turn to the left, Virabhadrasana 2. Another one where some of us can tend to be rib poppers and stick the bum out. So do the same thing. Padabandha. Push down through the feet. Find that little connection of Mula Bandha and just feel yourself. It might not be a big pelvic tilt, but you feel it start to just kick in that alignment. Dhyana Bandha. And all of a sudden the posture just feels better. So this is why we want these bandhas working throughout the whole class. Padabandha, Hasta Bandha, and Jaladhara Bandha in the throat are turned on and off depending on what we're doing. But Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, always active. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga. We're holding some good thigh burners this morning, aren't we? Inhaling to upward dog. Exhaling back to your downward dog. On your inhale, step the left foot forwards. As we hold it, explore for yourself. Feel into it. Let the bandhas go. You can activate them to the point where you can't breathe. And then you can kind of activate them to the point where they're working, but you've got that flow of breath. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, turn to the right, Virabhadrasana 2. Don't say it. Yeah. Give yourself like half a chance. It makes it a lot harder when you do a wide step. So play around with your bandhas again. Notice as well, another fun one in Warrior 2. If you let everything drop, have a look what happens with your front knee. If it's anything like mine, it just goes and rolls in. The minute I activate my through Padabandha, it straightens itself up. We're always trying to work on that alignment, but use the bandhas. They're like this real cheat thing that goes on. I practiced for years without knowing what they were, and then I learned about them and went home. Suddenly it's easier. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga, release chest and chin. Inhale into upward dog, cobra. Exhale back to your downward dog and hold it here. Use that long exhalation to release. When we've built up heat in the body, we start to shift energy, blocked energy, tightness. Use a nice long exhalation to release. Let it go. On your inhale, step forwards, coming to your mat. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Bend your knees, so engage in the bandhas. Notice as you come up to Uttanasana, see how it feels. And exhale, come to stand, bring the hands to Namaskar. Inhaling, sit back to Uttanasana. So keeping those bandhas engaged, folding forwards to Uttanasana. Inhale, lift your flat back. Exhale, step back to plank and hold it here. Do a little bandha check. So feet, hands, hasta bandha. Spread the fingers wide. Root down through the knuckles. So Angie, come forwards to plank. Get your hips down, yeah. So rooting down through the hands. Gently pressing into the pads of the fingers as if there was a suction cup in the palm of the hands, drawing that energy back up towards the core. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, chaturanga, raise chest and chin. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling, step the right foot forwards, Virabhadrasana 1 or high lunge. On the exhale, turn to the left, Virabhadrasana 2. So again, do that little check. So the back leg is straight, front leg bent. Soften through the shoulders. Now straightening the front leg, push into the feet to actively straighten the legs. So you're drawing the energy up. Using the bandhas here, inhale, reach towards the front of the room. So the same flow that we did last week, just not as many times. So here, in this action, this is where we can collapse through the bandhas again, and we collapse forwards. If we keep them active, we stay in the alignment. Open out to Trikonasana and take the gaze up towards the left hand. Trying to straighten that front leg, Angie. Breathe space into the posture. So you're working that way back. Good. Inhaling, slowly coming back up. On the exhale, bend the front knee. Reach again towards the front of the room. And open out into Parsvakonasana. So whether it's elbow to knee, hand to the floor, take the left arm up and over. If you work into the bind, by all means go into the bind here. Again, keep your bandhas active as you bind. If you're in the bind, see if you can straighten the front leg. And breathe. Then release the bind, bend the front knee, inhale, come back up to your warrior 2. Exhale, transfer the weight onto the front foot. Lift the back foot. Just holding it here, come back to your bandhas. Left foot, what's going on with Pada Bandha? Lift through Mula Bandha, through Uddiyana Bandha, and then slowly straightening the front leg, transitioning down Ardha Chandrasana. Inhaling, step back into your warrior 2. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga on knees, chest and chin. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, stepping the left foot forwards, come into your high lunge. Exhaling, turn to your right, Virabhadrasana 2. So when we hold through the core, it all connects back to the core. When we're holding here, these transitions become easier. It's when we start to lose the connection to the core and try to transition, it becomes heavy. So straightening the front leg. Again, drawing that energy up. As we inhale, reaching towards the front of the room. So you're pulling that left thigh back and reaching forwards. And then open out to Trikonasana. Turn the gaze up towards the right hand. Breathe into the bits that feel tight. Use the breath to exchange that blocked energy in the body. Inhaling, slowly come back up. Again, using that energy to lift. And exhaling, bend the front knee, reach forwards. So wrapping that left sitting bone under Parsvakonasana. So either hand to the floor, take the bind, or the half bind. Again, if you're in the full bind, see if you can straighten the front leg. So Angie, bend your front knee more. More. Yes. Good. Releasing your bind. Inhale, come back up to your warrior two. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga on each chest and chest. Inhale into upward dog or cobra. Exhale back to your downward dog and hold it here. So from here we're going to come into our pigeon pose. So lifting the right leg, coming into a three-legged downward dog. And then bend the right knee and bring the right knee forwards towards the left wrist. So we're coming across the midline. And then turn out from the hip. So we place the right knee behind the right wrist and the ankle somewhere behind the left wrist. So the other way around, I'll come back. I just confused you completely, didn't I? And then walk the left leg back down the mat. Take a little glance behind you at what your left leg is up to, or your right leg in your case. If it's wandered off the side of the mat to the left or out, stop it, yeah. Yeah. Then bring it back into the midline. Here again, banders. Notice what happens, because often we can sink to one side. Can you feel this? How we've sunk? Yeah. Lift yourself back into the center and engage through Mula Bandha, and a Dhyana Bandha to hold you. So when we have the bandhas, see if you can take one arm up towards the ceiling. Good. Angie, come down onto that back leg, lower it to the mat, coming into pigeon, And then swap hands. Take the other one. Then see if you can take both. Now use those bandhas. See if you can lift yourself up and lengthen. So Mula Bandha, Dhyana Bandha. And then slowly lower, walking the hands forwards, keeping the hands active onto the fingertips, coming down to a sleeping pigeon. Sleeping pigeon is definitely made up by the Western world. Even here, keeping that connection to the bandhas. When you lose it, you sink. And then slowly bring yourself back up. So walking the hands back in. Tuck the back toe under. Lift up the back knee. And step back to your downward dog. And feel. This is all just a lesson in shifting energy. Really, we're working into the energetic body. The physical body follows suit. So just feel. And then flow the left leg. So we're bending the left knee, bringing it across the midline to start with, towards the right wrist. And then turning out of the hip and placing the knee down behind the left wrist. Then walk the right leg back down the mat. So there's a yoga thing of what to do with the foot in pigeon. Flex it or point it. Traditionally, we're going, you're working towards a flexed foot at a 90-degree angle to your knee, so it's parallel to the front of the mat. So good luck. We're going to be realistic on this one. Oh, the old mythbusters of yoga alignment. But that is the traditional kind of what you're working towards, is this angle with the foot flexed. And then your back foot pointed. Back straight, yeah. Straight in line. I like mine. It's a little bit of time. Oh, that feels tight. So, but realistically, trying to get the leg at that angle doesn't always happen. So we have it back slightly, and then if you try and flex the foot, you end up sickling the foot, which can be worse. It can actually put strain, when you sickle the foot, it can put sort of strain into the outer edge of the knee. So by all means, point your foot, have it pointed. Again, lifting through your bandhas. If you want to go deeper into this posture and you ever want to adjust yourself, put the hand onto the front foot, weight into the other hand, lift the knee, and then pull it back. As opposed to grabbing the foot and pushing it, pulling it forwards. Because you're putting a lot of weight, your whole body weight down into that joint there, and it can really hurt the knee. So let's float one arm up. Find your bandhas. Swap and float to the other arm. You can feel in yourself. It's fun to play around with it. If you just let the bandhas go, notice what happens. You just kind of drop. Take a nice deep breath in. And then slowly walk the hands forwards, coming into sleeping. We're trying to open through the hips, to find space rather than open, to find space in the hips here, rather than dumping into them. So it's that loose through the bandhas, that the pushing down action helps to lift or activate through Mula Bandha. Uddiyana Bandha, lifting and making it lighter. And then walking the hands back. So tuck your back toe, lift up the back knee, and step back to your downward dog. And then just feel the release. And then lower down to your knees. Come to sitting with the legs out in front, knees bent, knees together. So bringing the hands to the backs of the hips. Backs of the hips, thighs, they're not hips. backs of the thighs. Even here, banders. As we sit down, we're like, oh great, sitting down. So find that little lift through Mula Bandha, Vidyana Bandha. Bring the arms out to the side. And then slowly lean back. So you feel your tummy muscles kick in. Hold it there, point the toes, see if you can come up onto the tips of the toes. Then lift the feet. So we've got the shins parallel to the floor. That connection through Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha stopping you just sinking into the lower back. You can keep the toes down. It is an option. If you want to, from here, straighten the legs and breathe. 3 different variations of the same posture, equally valid. Do the one that feels right for you today. A nice deep breath in and exhale, release. Just rounding the head down to the knees and relax. And then coming back into Navasana, elbow pose. So whichever variation you want to take, we've got options now. So if your feet are to the ground, you can come back just part of the way as you exhale and lift back up as you inhale. If the legs are lifted, we're going to straighten the legs and lower down until the lower back hits the mat, the shoulders stay up, and then we're going to inhale and come back up. Whether you do that with straight leg or bent legs is up to you. So do which one feels right for you. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, lowering down. So we roll, so the lower back touches the mat and the shoulders stay lifted. Straighten your legs here, it's easier. Inhale and come back up. Exhaling back down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up, keep the shins lifted. Exhaling down and hold it here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.5, 1. Inhale up and relax. It is a well-known fact yoga teachers cannot count. We're actually timing it to what's going on in the room. That's why none of us can count. It's a cheap thing. We're not holding it for 5, we're holding it until we can see that people just need to stop. That's the truth of what's going on. So let's straighten the legs out in front. And then we add in another little count just to take it a little bit further. So bending the right leg. Let the right knee fall out to the side. So sole of the foot against the inside of the left arm. Again, handlers. Notice here if you let them go, if you have none active, and then find that little lift through Mula Bandha, through Uddiyana Bandha, and take the arms up as you inhale. So use your bandhas here on the exhale, folding forwards. So taking the hands wherever they naturally fall, shins, ankles, feet. If you let those bandhas go, you drop. You sink back, probably into your lower back. So use the bandhas. Keep them active, and along with the breath, exploring those spaces that feel tight. Shift the energy with the breath and with the use of those bandhas. then slowly come up to sitting. So from here, we're going to bring the left hand onto the inside of the left leg. We're going to shift the hips slightly. So we're going to open the hips out to the right, to your right leg. This hand is going to act as a lever. So we're going to come, as we did in triangle pose, we want this side waist to be reaching down the side of the left leg. So taking the right arm out to the side. Inhaling, lift, again, banders. And as you exhale, reaching down the side or over the side, top of the left leg. So we're trying to find length in that left side of the waist. The shoulders stay aligned. So again, we're going for this. Let go of the foot, yeah. So we're here, there.
My arms are not long enough.
Yes, they are. So you want length. Can you feel the length? Then you want the growth to come from here, not from the hand trying to reach the foot. So we're moving from the base of the spine. So you need to redirect that energy. It's tough. It's a really tough. She just comes into it. That way. There. And then bring your arm out. So you're coming across. Bring this knee out. Turn it. So you just got a little bit more. And breathe into it. Breathe into it. You know, some bodies just flop into it. Yeah. Some of us have to take years and years of breathing to get into it. And slowly coming back. So swapping onto the other leg. These postures, that end goal is irrelevant. You know, we're reaching towards the foot and then it goes somewhere else. There's non-stop. What we're doing is exploring our bits, where our stuff is stuck. So bending the left knee, let the leg drop out to the side. So sitting up nice and tall, so finding that connection to the banders again. Inhale, taking the arms up as we lengthen. And exhale, fold. So this really is an exploration of your stuff. Breathe into it. Use that long exhalation. Breathe out from the pit of your stomach. Really exhaling any tension that your body's holding. It's amazing how much space we find when we really let go. It can also be quite scary, really, letting go. And then slowly coming up to sitting. So again, we're going to do a gentle twist, so we're facing the left knee. So you want the sternum in line with that left knee, and the left side of the waist coming down over the top of the left thigh. Right thigh, you're right. So right hand comes onto the inside of the right leg. Use that hand as a lever. Inhale and take the left arm up. Sorry, your right arm up. No, your left arm. God, my left and right's just gone. And over. So you don't have to reach for the foot. It's just it's a goal or it's a direction to move in energetically. So really what we're trying to do, so what we're trying to do is reach. Have that. So this is what we're going for. So use those banders, lift through the pelvic floor. Yeah, and then you get more reach. And then you come down, yeah. So stay with that. This arm then just starts to open up until you get a stretch down this side, and then breathe into it until it shifts. we allow the body to lead us through these stages. When we get to the bits where it's completely blocked, instead of just pushing through it with the ego, I've got to get my hand to my foot. That's our head doing our yoga. We don't want our head doing our yoga. Our head does the rest of life and it gets a lot of things wrong. So let your body lead you. When it's like, okay, I'm stuck, breathe into it. Allow it to invite you to go a little bit deeper. And then slowly coming up. Good. So here, from here, we're going to come to kneeling. So if you want to, you can double your mat over if your knees don't like the wooden floor much. Quite a nice little trick. And come to kneeling, keeping the knees and the feet hip distance. Tuck your toes under. So this first variation that we're coming into, we're not going to go for our feet. We're going for, so bringing the hands onto the backs of the hips, fingertips pointing down, and then roll the shoulders back and draw the elbows together. So we start to open the heart. This is another one. If you let go of the bandhas, your bum sticks out and so does your tummy. So little lift of Mula Bandha, gently activating Uddiyana Bandha. Inhaling, open the heart and lift the gaze. And then as you exhale, walk your hands halfway down the backs of the thighs. So if you can take your gaze up towards the ceiling comfortably without dropping the head back. Roll the shoulders back, open the heart even more. See if you can go down just another inch. Roll the shoulders back, pinch the shoulder blades together. Lift through the heart. And breathe. While you're holding this, now see if you can take the right arm up towards the ceiling and back. Use those bandhas to lift you. Take the right arm to the back of the thigh again, and take the left arm up and back. Good. Slowly taking that left hand back to the thigh. Inhale, coming up. And sit back to your heels. Take a breather. How did that feel? It's a lovely way of doing it. It's a really nice way of practicing because if we go too quickly, especially teaching, I notice everybody's back, a minute.
Yeah, that felt like you know, it was a string hair. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my finger. It wasn't me poking you in the back. But it does feel lighter, and it's literally because you connected, and it is an invisible string, literally, it's an energetic line lifting you. And that's exactly what you want. And it's from there, when you've got that energy line lifting you, you start to go back. But without that energy line, you drop and you sink, and it feels horrible in the lower back. And that's why a lot of people don't like back bends. And it's because it's a really vulnerable, your heart is open, and you're falling back, which emotionally, energetically, and physically is really vulnerable for the body. A lot of people feel sick. I've never had it, but I did when I started teaching. I had people go, "Why do I feel sick in Cameroon?" And actually, the more you explore it, it's no wonder, because it really is wrenching open that front body in so many ways. So flying straight back for the feet is, to me, it's not careless, but it's quite a reckless way of going into something that's asking to really open at the front. Whereas when we do it like this, which may just result in kind of this posture, we're starting to build the strength of the emotional and physical body. I've got my own back to open my heart, literally, physically and emotionally. Then as I go back, it's not quite so scary, it's harder, but we're slowly starting to work back. So practicing both of them, you know, all the variations. We're going to do the other one now and just see how they feel. So tucking the toes under, untucked if you know that you easily get your feet, it's up to you. So hands to the backs of the hips, roll the shoulders back, so opening the heart. Find that little connection to your bandhas and slowly start to walk your hands down the backs of the thighs. If your fingertips reach the crease of the knees, you can easily take hold of the heels. And feel into it. If you need to lean back in the hips slightly to take the heels, if you want to, just take the hips back. Yeah. And roll it up, the hands back out. Okay, yeah. So keep that external rotation there.
I'm still like,
We all do.
yeah. One side seems to.
We all do. A lot of people go into it one side and then take the other, which is not an ideal thing, but we all are. Good, and then slowly coming back up. Sit back to your heels, hands to the thighs, close your eyes and feel. Gently open your eyes. We're going to sit to the right, no, to your left, going that way with your feet. So your hips to the wall, feet to your right. The minute I lose my left and right once in the day, that's it gone for the whole day, which is a bummer when I've got more classes. So crossing the right foot over the top of the left. I've got one of my guys in the evening class, it's hilarious, we're as bad as each other, and it's resulted in an argument. We've had to get one of the others, who's right? A laughing argument, but it really was a full-on debate. So taking the right hand behind you on the mat. Inhale, taking the left arm up, bandhas. Exhale, twist, so we turn from the rib cage, hooking the elbow over the knee. Find that connection. So root down through the sitting bones, lift through the spine, get that twist, and then the last thing to turn is the head. So we're finding again that energetic line. And it comes right the way down from below the tailbone, all the way up through the crown of the head. If you do work into the mind in this posture, then by all means go into the mind. So get that knee back by your armpit, Tina. That's what you're working at. So what you're working to do, so here you want to keep lifting more, and then twisting more. Work there. So if you keep working like that, once that knee is sort of in line with the armpit, then go into the bind, rather than trying to fold into the bind.
Yeah, my hips just got to
You can always do it with the bottom leg straight. It's a slightly less invasive version. Yeah, if that feels nicer.
I feel like I'm stretching my muscles more than just working my hip. I don't know.
And slowly come back to facing. So swapping the legs over. Left leg on top, Angie, you got me. Excellent. So taking that left hand behind you on the mat. Inhale, taking the right arm. And on the exhale, twist. So again, we root down, push through the sitting bones. Lift using the banders. Then turn that gaze over the left shoulder. So if you worked into the bind on the other side, you can do on this side. Continue, get the left weight into the left sitting bone. Push into the other left one. I know, I've got to spread it. So glad I could share the love. Keep pushing the weight into the left sitting bone. And then lift through the crown of the head. So when anybody in twists, if you want to go deeper into a twist, the way to do it is not by going round, weirdly enough. The way to do it, yeah, exactly, is by going up. Because if you just keep trying to go round, you run out of space. You're literally just kind of bone on bone. There's not much left to twist. So actually what we want to do is create more space up, so there's more twist round. Always trying to get more length. So if you're feeling like you've hit your limit on your twist range, and you want to go further, go up. The round bit happens. Anything with the spine, the way to go deeper into it, back bends, forward bends, twists, anything involving the back, the way out is always through lengthening. And on the inhale, slowly come back to face forward. So undoing the legs, find a comfy cross-legged position to sit. Sit with the hands rested into the lap or onto the knees and close your eyes. You're going to bring your hands in front of your heart center and deep breath. Take a moment just to say thank you to this body. Find 3 things today that you're grateful for. We'll close the class chanting 3 Oms together. Taking a breath in for Om. Om. around there. You have a thing. Such a lovely way to start the week. Yes. It's actually right in my journal this morning. I was like, I really like Mondays. It's so nice. Yeah. You know, there's always that thing you see on the news about people, you know, oh, Monday, oh, Sunday, dread Monday. I really love Mondays. Yeah. Such a nice way to just start to yeah, totally. It really
And
is.
psychologically, it just changes the speeds of the
Totally.
If you credit, it's going to be awful.
Yeah. And you're dragging yourself through it. Yeah, if you're dragging yourself into the week. Oh, right, see you next week. Oh, and